so today I went ahead and filmed another tutorial using the Master Palette by Mario. I really wanted to play with the Claudia shade, which was kind of like a deep green navy shade. I love it. I want to do kind of something smoky, you know, go out of my element. And this look is also without any wing liner, so if you do not like wing liner, you can still do this. And yeah, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I love you guys so much. Oh, and little disclaimer. I am on a different chair, which makes me taller than the tripod. So in a lot of the video, if I'm like this, like when I was zoomed in, if I'm like this, I filmed like this the whole time, slouched. That is dedication. Dedication. So yeah, I wanted to warn you guys about that. That might have happened. I might have came out of the frame. I'm trying to cut as much of that out as I can, but just a little warning. Alrighty, my loves. So we're gonna start out as normal with our Urban Decay primer potion. Just going to prime the eye since we're gonna be doing a pretty dark shadow today. I'm starting out again, as always, just using a pressed powder to set my primer. It just makes blending a little bit easier for me since I do have some freckles on my eyelids. So after that, I'm going to go into my Master Palette by Mario, and I'm going to take the shade Lula as my transition shade, which just with a big fluffy blending brush. I like to do that, and I use the circular motions just to make it nice and blended. And then I'll take like a clean blending brush just to blend it out. Just so everything's nice and smooth. And we're actually going to go straight into Claudia. So I'm taking that large shader brush. I started with this brush. I applied it. Then I realized that it was a lot harder than I thought to use this brush. So then I went in with a smudger brush after. Normally, I would have used my like 239 from MAC or something. That would have made it so much easier. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, I just did kind of the details with the detailing brush. It was way too small to put it all over my lid. So yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to blend it out anyways, just with the blending brush. I like to start out just blending out the colors very gently. Don't worry if too much of the blue comes off. You can always reapply more on top like I did. So I started out just with a clean blending brush to blend the lines. And then I took a little bit more of that Claudia shade, just packing that on the lid just to really intensify that. And then to further blend the two colors together, I wanted to mix Lula and Isabel. I love how Isabel is a really warm orange tone with the blue. I really like how that looks. So I just blended those two together using that as my kind of mid-tone shade. And that's how it came out just for eyeshadow. It's super easy. You don't have to use too much at all. And I already am moving on to my face. So I'm going to start out with the Benefit Pore-fessional, which is my current favorite primer just for my T-zone. My skin has been way too dry to pretty much use any other primer on the rest of my skin. So putting that on my nose and where my pores are really visible. And then, of course, I'm taking my Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation. I believe I'm in the shade 120 for reference. And of course, Anthony's talking to me. What's new? So I just applied that, drawing the lines all over my face. This is the way I like to apply it. And then I'm actually taking my Luxie Round Top Blender. It's probably my favorite kabuki brush for foundation. And of course, there is Anthony's part of the video where he likes to pop in. And then Ryder. Both my boys. So I just further blended out that foundation with the brush. Like I said in my previous videos, this foundation is really great whether you use a beauty blender or a sponge. I mean, a beauty blender or a brush. Both work well. So once I got that all blended out, I'm taking my MAC Pro-longwear Concealer in the shade NC20. I'm just going to apply that under my eyes in sort of a soft triangular shape. I don't like it to be too much. Probably looks like I'm using a ton, but I mean, the littlest drop gets you a ton of product. So I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty blender. And kind of cleaning up the end of the eyeshadow, not too much. I kind of like the blown out look if I'm not doing eyeliner. So I'm just going to blend that out. And then to set my eyeliner, I'm going to use the Airspun powder by Koty that I normally use just to bake under my eyes. And I did not want to do that much, but you know, whatever. What's done to one side must be done to the other. And then I wanted to do it kind of lower on my jaw so my contour would kind of stick out a little bit more. It was not working well for me. And then I'm going to take my Rimmel pressed powder after a few minutes, and I'm going to set the rest of my face. That way my cheek products go on a lot more smooth. So I like to apply to my forehead, and I also like to blend in part of my bake with that. I feel like it just helps set everything and does 2 in 1. Sets and brushes away the excess powder. Then I'm just taking a little blending brush just to get the excess powder from under my eyes. As my bronzer, I'm going to take Hoola from Benefit, and I'm just going to use this again as just a bronzer. And I like to just use this brush from Morphe. I'm not sure of the name. I'll definitely put it down below. It's my favorite brush for bronzing. So I'm just going to do that, again in a 3E motion on the cheek, forehead, and under my jawline. And for my contour, I'm going to take the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to use that Left Coolest contouring color. And I'm going to just use that to really sculpt out my contour. Doing this, and then I also like to go back with my powder brush after, just to kind of blend everything together. For blush, I'm going to take Makeup Geek's Infatuation. Like I said, I really wanted to make the rest of my face really warm tone since my eyes were a little bit more cool. These blushes are super pigmented, so make sure you tap off the excess. I've learned the hard way many times. So I'm just going to apply this as my blush. I love warm terracotta shades. I love them. And then for some reason, I couldn't find my regular highlight, so I just went ahead and used the Primavera shade from the Modern Renaissance palette, just as my highlight because it's a soft gold. Just goes to show you can use eyeshadows as highlight. You don't need to have a specific highlighting powder. I make everything work. Just apply that to my nose and Cupid's bow like normal. And then for my lower lash line, I'm going to take Lula again, just on a pencil brush to really, just really softly define my lower lash line. And after I use Lula, I'm going to take the shade Claudia on that same small definer brush right along the lash line just to complete the whole look together. So you just did that, and then I take a regular, just kind of a little bit larger blending brush just to blend Lula and Claudia together so it's a smooth transition. And then I'm going to go ahead and just tight line with my Rimmel Exaggerate liner, the normal. I ended up doing my waterline later, but you know, the struggle. I applied some mascara and my Salon Perfect 615s. These are my favorite lashes for looks like these where I don't do liner. I just feel like it really makes everything look nice and kind of like Kim Kardashian. It reminds me of that. So I really like the look of that. Flary, but you know, kind of sexy at the same time. Just like that. And then the other side. And I use the Duo Black Lash Glue, so that really helps hide the band later, especially when I'm doing looks where there's no eyeliner. Just pressing that in, and that's what the lashes look like. They're really natural, and I just feel like they look really nice with this eyeshadow look. And then I'm just taking the same mascara. I think I'm using the Doucce. I got it in my BoxyCharm a few months ago. I love it. And this is where I do the eyeliner. The struggle when I forget to do stuff. Sometimes I wait to do liner last though because I don't decide to do it until I look at my entire eye. And for lips, I'm going to take Jordana's Rockin' Rose lip liner. It's almost like a My Lips but better shade. So there are times where I'll just use this all over my lips and I won't do anything else. But for this looks, I'm starting out with this lip liner. And then on top, I'm going to take my favorite MAC lipstick ever, Velvet Teddy. Again, kind of a warm nude. Feel like it all kind of pulled together. After you are done with your lips, I've just taken out my crazy looking hair. I want to apologize. It was bugging me my entire video. After that, your look is completed. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you all would like to see next. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!